Today we're going to tie up a fly pattern. It's one of my guide flies. I use this pattern all the time. Super simple. I'm tying this on a Ahrex size 14 FW544. It's a mini jig hook. This is jig style. I'm tying this on a 3mm tungsten bead head. I'm going to start with lashing my wire, working it back towards the rear of the fly. And I'm going to stop my wraps about where this is barbless, but about where the barb would be on this hook. I'm using SLF, synthetic living fibers. This is a combo fiber. This is Dave Whitlock version, and it has all kinds. This is all obviously natural colors. Love this stuff. It dubs really easily. It has great tones, great natural tones. I'm going to tie this impressionistic style tying we're going to do today. And most importantly, we're going to finish this fly off with what's called a filoplume. That is a filoplume. And that is what is attached to the inside of every feather. And this is this is a pheasant feather. This is the pheasant feather's outer layer here. This is his inside layer, and that's the insulation. And that's what we're going to use. And most people, you just look at that and go, I don't know what to do with that, and you throw it away. Great for tying. It represents gills. It represents legs. It represents movement. So all we do on this is we just take this. There's our feather. Pull this, and it's just attached right at the base. We just pull it right off. So we're going to use this feather later on, but for this pattern, we're going to use this filoplume, it's called. And it's going to attach right around there. This one actually has a little bit of a stem to it, a little thicker. So I'm going to cut this off about right here. Most of them are so small that it doesn't matter. And you could still wrap that on there, no problem. So I'm going to tie this one in an light olive body. Now, the thing to remember about this is that when flies get wet, they get darker. And so when you look at that fly in the fly bin and go, that's the perfect color, well, it's going to change color as soon as it gets wet. I'm going to do this two-tone, which I do with most of my flies. I am tying right now in the middle of winter, and it is currently below 0 outside. And there is a lot of static electricity. So I'm going to put a little dubbing wax on there. This dubs really easily. Most of the time you don't need to have any additional dubbing wax or any help with it. But tonight I'm going to put this on here just to give us a little extra stick. Our dubbing noodle, we want to start with a taper, build to a thorax. Even this doesn't want to dub on here. Dub to a thorax. I just got my finger a little bit wet there. Help it along. We're going to work our way all the way to the back here where we want to start with our dubbing, and we're going to dub from the bend of the hook all the way up to right behind the bead head. And this can be a pretty slender profile fly. You don't have to put a whole lot of dubbing on there. I'm going to back that up. Started to come off. It's right where my dubbing wax ran out. Put that on there. I'm going to give me a little bit more. And then I'm going to take and dub in right behind that. I'm going to dub in some peacock colored dubbing. Same thing, synthetic living fiber, just different color. So I'm going to take this and fill back in here again on my thorax. Then I'm going to come right up here and put this right in behind the bead head. Now we're going to fix all that. I like it. It's okay. It looks a little bit wild, I guess is a good way to put it, but I'm going to take and run this over the top of it, and this will just show you can fix just about anything with your wire overwrap. Keeps everybody tame, pointing the right direction. I'm going to take and use my scissors on this one to cut it. You can helicopter it up, use your scissors, whatever you want to do with that. I'm going to move these out of the way. Here's my filoplume. I'm going to take this and I'm going to put this right underneath the bead head closest to me and underneath there. And I'm going to catch that very tip of that filoplume. I got it in there right now. This guy, let's see which way this guy wants to go. See if we can get him to turn that way. You can use a Hackle pliers. I'm just going to use my fingers. Filoplume is really, really delicate. It looks awesome. The other thing you can do with this is you can take and put a dot of glue underneath the Filoplume. Help it to hold and stay there. And you look at this and you go, that doesn't look quite right. Let me get my fingers wet, pull that back. And when you do that, you go, okay, that looks pretty darn good. And that breeze and pulses in the water, it is just a phenomenal, phenomenal looking fly. And that's a piece of material you would never typically use. I'm going to put 3-turn whip finish on there, right behind there. Now I'm going to come in with just a dot of UV cure glue. Put that in there. Give that a quick cure. And we're done. It's a good looking fly. Easy to tie. And that's, again, very impressionistic. That is that a blueing olive? Is that a caddis? Yes.